quick video to show you how easy it is to submit a presentation for the research section of the ISTE conference. I want to show you kind of what's asked of you so that you can plan ahead and that you can get your proposal in by the 27th of September. So first thing, you go to conference.iste.org and click Become a Presenter. And it will ask you to log in. If you're not currently logged in, I'm logged in. You're going to click on Start a Proposal. Now it's going to ask me to log in. And now I'm going to click Submit a New Proposal. Now, it kind of gives you a bunch of clues and things that you should read. But if you're doing a research paper, what you're going to do is you're going to go down here and click Research Paper Only. All right. And it says 20 to 30 minute lecture presentation. It could be an hour-long roundtable or a poster presentation with original research around a general theme. So then it says select your preferred research paper format down below. And a lecture presentation is when you're in a large room and you get like 15 minutes, 13 minutes to present your paper to the large group with other related papers. A round table presentation are the most popular, where there'll be like 5 papers going on at the same time and people will come and sit around your table to discuss with you. And then finally, a poster presentation is when you'll be standing next to a poster for an hour or two talking about your research. Thing to know about the poster presentation, that these will be mixed in with regular practitioner presentations. So for example, if your research is on robots, you'll be around people talking about how they use robots in your classroom. And it's not just researchers. That's a plus and a minus depending on what your interests are. Then it says, what other type of format would you like? Now this is like, hey, maybe I'm going for lecture, but I'd be willing to accept roundtable or poster presentation. Click the ones that you're willing to do and then click Save and Continue. Oh, it has a problem. Research paper format is required, so I skipped picking this one, so I'm going to prefer a roundtable. Okay, great. So now it wants the topic. So I'm going to pick down from this list a topic that I want. I'm going to just pick one quickly so that I can move you along, but you should go through and look at this list carefully because these will be how we group people together and also how we assign your reviewers. And then it says subject areas. So I'm going to pick computer science and higher education. And then what's the audience? Who would like to come? One of the things that's great about ISTE is a lot of administrators come to the research sessions to learn more. So maybe I would say principals, head teachers, and also teacher education faculty. I can pick up to 3. And then the grade level, I'm going to pick university because that's what I do. But maybe your research is about a K-12 situation. Now, what they want you to do is to write a title. Now, on the title, I'm going to just say, title, make sure it is clear what you are studying. I will say that if you are using a specific tool, try to be more general in your title. For example, is it really about using Google's coding curriculum, or is it about teaching computational thinking? Keep that in mind because research reviewers are very skeptical of product-based proposals, and you want to make sure that you're talking about the core concepts that you research, not necessarily the product. Under description, you're going to write a brief but detailed description of your session. This is what's going to appear in the program, so make sure that you give enough details and talk about the audience that you did your research with. So I'm just going to write the word details, so let me move on. Under diversity, ISTE is trying really hard to make sure that we are diversifying our presenters. Make sure to speak about the collaboration that you might be doing, maybe with people in other countries. Also, talk about who's going to be in your panel and think carefully about how you can increase the diversity of the conference. So I'm just going to add the word diversity, so it'll let me move on. And then any special conditions. Now here, global collaboration. Now, student presentation would be K-12 students. Young educator would be people under 35. An ISTE author, some focus specifically on digital equity. These are the 3 I'm most excited about. Pre-service teacher presenter, which I loved because last year we had one that was amazing, that was doing kind of an action research project. An undergraduate student, those might be checked together. And then finally, a graduate student. The way that we're going to build our program is by giving more graduate students opportunities. If you want to add an attendee resource, you can do so, but you will get that opportunity, if accepted, to add resources to the digital tote. So you can leave this one blank. Then it wants you to pick which standards are relevant. So like, for example, if I'm doing something on professional development, then maybe I'm going to talk about ISTE for educators, and that it's going to be about professional development goals. You want to think about this very carefully because, again, this is how we group things. And this is also how people pick their programs that they're going to attend. Then you're going to give a rationale for those ISTE standards. So if they're part of your research question, include that, or if they're about the audience that you're using it with. Then they want you to say if you're getting any money from a company, and this is just for conflict of interest, to be very clear, so be honest there. And then, this is the most important checkbox. Are you interested in reviewing research? Yes, you are, I hope. I try to keep the reviews down to 7 or less. And what that ends up allowing you to do is to see other people's proposals. Each time that I review for a conference, I get better at submitting to it because I see what other people are submitting. Then you can describe any scheduling conflicts you have. And I'm going to click Save and Continue. Hitting Save and Continue lets it submit. All right, so then it asked me about my, that I'm a presenter by default, and then I can pick if they're my undergraduate student or graduate student, and then you can add additional presenters by their email. So I'm going to save and continue. Now, this is where the real meat of the job is. And so this is what I want you to think about preparing ahead of time. You want to list the purpose and the objectives of the study. And so this is about research questions. This is about remember, you're being reviewed by other researchers, and so you want to make sure that you're being clear here. Also, what theoretical perspectives? People want to know what camp you're in. If you're talking about computational thinking, what are other researchers that have inspired you? And so make sure to give a sense of your perspective. Then research methods. Remember that when we present research, it's about reproducibility, so give enough details. If someone wanted to do a similar study, they'd be able to. Next, research results or expectations. Most importantly is that we understand that you're submitting this proposal in September for a conference that occurs in June. But the idea is your research far enough along that you can talk about the results that you have, or preliminary results, or trends that you're starting to see, or what you expect to find. Results are important, and we don't want people canceling at the last minute. Sessions at ISTE are very difficult to get. And so if you go ahead and put in a proposal, you should remember that you might be taking another spot that someone else was ready to use. So make sure that your results would be ready. Finally, educational or scientific importance. And so this is important, but also think about the fact that teachers may be attending the conference. And so if there's something really important for practice, share that as well. Then, when do you expect to have your data collected? This is super important. So I'm going to say October 2019. And then list your references. That will help us know about the camps and what who it is that you're using, and help us to put proposals together. If there's several proposals citing the same people, I can put them together more easily. Save and continue to save your work. And then it's going to ask you, like, what do you need as far as devices? Do they need to have certain accounts? That sort of thing. And so I'm going to say devices aren't going to be used. They don't need any certain accounts. I'm going to click on to continue. And then you can check everything and then go on and make sure it's right, or you can submit the proposal or remove the proposal. So hopefully that was a quick overview, and I hope that I will see lots of research proposals submitted.